Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. I know you're probably expecting a show last week, but Corey dubbed it our All-Star break. We had a little bit of a delay. We kept intending to record, and we just kept putting it off. How about tomorrow? How about tomorrow? And eventually, hockey came back, so we figured we had to.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me, Corey.
No, nice to be here. It's been 2 weeks, so
Yeah, we have some results, interesting results to talk about. Some a lot of trades. Like it's gonna be a long show tonight. So and we also have this week's matchups, right? Every week becoming more important than the last, with the playoff picture becoming a little more clear. Maybe some teams dropping out. Uh, yeah, it'll be interesting. Let's get into this. Let's start off with the upset here. Captain Crunch 9-7 in sixth place. Don't understand how. 8-7 win over Team Ramrod, 12-2 in first. Corey, what happened here?
well, I know this was an interesting one, right? Came down to him getting Eric Stahl in a trade and Eric Stahl,
Jordan.
Jordan
Jordan.
Stahl, sorry, Jordan Stahl, I apologize. Uh, and him getting a shorthanded point to give him the 8-7 win. Um, because somebody told him he had to get a center
Well, he
to make
did.
the lineup legal.
he
The
had
funny
he
thing
had an
is,
illegal
he was
lineup.
the second center he traded for already. Like he already had a center. He didn't need to make another move, but he did, which resulted in the trade in a shorthanded.
Oh, he only had one center on his roster because he moved the center, yeah, earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he
No,
would have
but
held on to
he
that
already
center.
made one trade to make his roster legal. Then he made another one,
Oh, yeah. Well, he picked up
getting
another
Stahl,
center.
getting the shorthanded point, the big point. That's a big win for him.
What I hated with that shorthanded point, they had like 4.5 minutes left in the game. Why are you fucking pulling your goalie?
That's early. What was the difference? Two?
Yeah. But you have a power play. You're like one of the top scoring,
Oh,
one of the
they're
best
going
teams
for
in
the
the
six on
league.
four. Then that's all. They're looking for to get a quick one, right?
But you know they can launch it down the ice. Like,
Yeah, there's always the risk.
I think that was a bad call on their part. They're the best team in the league, the Bruins. Like, you should have had faith in them not to have to pull the goalie when you have a man advantage.
Yep.
But we're going to talk about Domo later in the trades because that's where I'll really rip into him. Like, he got to win. But I mean, he gave up way too much to try and compete in this 1 week, in my opinion.
Yep.
So
I don't
yeah,
disagree.
yeah, we're gonna see. Like, his team is bare. I can't wait to talk about that because I've been waiting for a while. But he beat me. Good on you. You said to make 8 trades on the last day to do it. You can't do that once playoff comes. So if you happen to make it, I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. But
Did you count eight?
no, there was like he made trades for like 5 players
Yeah.
before
Okay.
I
I
made him make the
say
trade.
I didn't go counting. I know there was a lot though.
He had acquired 5 players before the stall trade. So, like, he just gave
I'm
away
in.
so many draft picks. Like,
Hey,
doesn't
that's
make
a
sense.
big 2 points for me right there to climb the rankings.
But we'll talk about when we talk about trades. But I just don't understand. Like, it leaves his team in just such a poor state, and that's what I
So
have the
what's the
issue with.
difference at this point? It was already his best pick was already a 14th rounder.
No, that's what it is now.
Oh, I thought okay, maybe it was a
He moved
12th.
some 13s and like he moved everything else he had. Like, oh man, we'll talk about it. We'll get there. Fox and the Huso, 7-5 victory over Shane Losby in the finals. The one thing that he is proud of in his life. Now 6-9-1 here, Mark, in 12th place. Fox and Huso now fifth, 9-6-1. Or 6-9-1, sorry, for Mark, right? Yeah, 9-6-1 for Fox and the Huso here. But Mark, defending champ, you're bragging about that, but how embarrassing is it that you don't have the foundation to make the playoffs after? Ugh. What do you think, Corey?
I mean, that's a big loss, and to Travis, like his team's trash. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, it's been a while since I've seen these matchups. It wasn't too bad. Pretty close overall. goalie stats were close. That could have been a big swing. Like he was only 0.002 away from tying, and that would have been a 6-6 right there. So one, they were tied in blocks, tied in goalie wins. Like some close categories, but big win for Travis.
Yeah,
Yep.
kind of trying to still fight for his playoff life as well. Um, yeah, big win for Travis. Big loss for Mark. I love to see that. Let's keep it going, boys. Team Rocket
Whew.
avoiding tying E-Rock's record here. 113-2. The worst he can finish now is with 18 losses. Good on you, Kyle. Good on you. Getting some points where you can. Tying the Chris Crichton Crease Crashers 763 in ninth place. Sean, that's got to hurt when you're fighting for your playoff life. I love it. Corey, what do you tell me about this?
It's like every close category, Kyle won. Every category that wasn't close at all, Sean won. It was like Sean just couldn't squeeze out the win. Like Kyle barely holding on for that extra point. Yeah, can't predict that one.
I love it. I love when Sean struggles to get points. Just makes me feel good inside. Good job, Kyle. Way to not be the worst we've ever seen. I forgot about Dre. 11-4 won in third place after barely defeating Dull Try the Beef 3-12-1 in 15th. What happened here?
Yeah, Nick squeezing out a win. Daltrey putting up a fight against me and Nick in a row, 2 weeks in a
Yeah.
row. I think you're right saying he's gonna call a couple spoiler wins here, rounding out the season.
His team's playing
Not enough
better.
this week, just not enough.
Yeah. I agree. I think if he were to really pay attention, like right now, not that he has to, right? He has nothing to play for. He could play spoiler and just kind of ruin some people's days. That's what I would be doing if
Yep.
I was out. But
And keep pushing for Kyle to get that golden cock because
yeah,
right now he's number 15 in the list. So I'd like
I
to
say
see
he's
a
only
couple
he's only up by
couple wins.
3 points.
Yeah, exactly. Kyle can go for his biggest winning streak of the year of two, and he's right back in it.
Well, he didn't win though. He didn't win. Yeah, he just needs to get to triple his outwin output, and he'll be all right. Fetch me a drink. 5-10-1 now in 13th after beating Clefbaum, who's now 7-8-1 in 11th. What happened here?
Yeah, I think this is the dagger that put Kyle into sell mode, right? So it's a big loss to Dan. I'm not saying Dan has a bad team. His players showed up. Yeah, he had a really big week. Um, just Kyle was the victim.
Yeah, I think I was saying this to Travis at work earlier today. Like, if Dan would have put a little bit of focus into buying with some of those picks, he'd be in the playoff hunt right now. Like, like I get like he's set up for next year, but he still could have did it and still been set up for next year and still been competing this year. So I don't know. I think Dan's team should have been better this year, especially with the assets he has.
Yeah, the
And
auto draft hurts though too.
yeah, but he has all
Yeah.
those sevens, like, and he's had them for weeks.
Oh,
He could have moved some of them, picked up some players. Like, he's only 5 points
there's a
out, like
lot.
right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Yeah.
hard to, I know he's actively shopping. Let's
If
say
I
that.
had if I had that kind of riches, I'd be spending, right? And just more because I paid to be in the league. Like I'm gonna try and win the money. But yeah, big win for him. Pretty much plays spoiler, kills Clefbaum's season. I mean, he's still in the hunt, Clef. He could still make it, but I
Easily.
don't think his chances are realistic. I think he saw that he has a tough schedule, and he just kind of now's the time to sell. So yeah, big win, Dan. Clinched a playoff spot. Who has not clinched a playoff spot in 10-6-0 here in fourth place after defeating Jager Bombs 8-7-1 in eighth place. This was a huge matchup for playoff chase, right? Why don't you tell me about this?
Yeah, Derek getting a big win here. The Braden bye week. He's pushing him like he's an eighth spot now, like tied with somebody who's a ninth as well. Like
With
it's something
Sean.
big. Yeah, and this is a big 2 points to push Derek towards a clinch in a playoff spot, but he's a little premature here. So
Yeah.
hopefully another premature exit in the playoffs. So yeah, big win for him.
Yeah, it's a close week. I mean, like, that's a big win, big week to pull out a win. You're playing someone that you were pretty much neck and neck with in the standings, and that's a 4 point swing, right? You're gaining two, and you're hurting someone for two. So,
Yep,
no,
exactly.
big win for Derek. Pat's ready to rumble, trying to stay relevant here. 8-8 in 10th place. Um, I even know what his team is. Mexico City something. Uh,
Go City
losing.
Flowriders.
Oh, 4-11-1 in 14th place. What happened here?
Yeah, it's another win for Nick. I think that's two in a row, right? Swinging the other way, but he has a more active lineup now. Um, there's some close categories here, but I think he felt pretty confident going into the end of the week.
I mean, when you're going against the 14th place team, you're probably pretty confident.
Yeah, well, what's he sitting at though? He's only 10th, so now,
Yeah, but he's in the hunt though. He's only like a point out.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, you're right. Big difference.
yeah. So he needed that win. Casey he's showing up. He's still active. Thanks, Casey. Suck my Ojik, 8-7-1 now in 7th place after losing the Sauce Pass, 11-3-2 in 2nd place. What happened here? This was close.
Yeah, this was close. I thought I was done for. I had a really busy Saturday. Checked the app later, and like Hart had a huge shutout for me. Gibson had like a 1 goal win, like huge amount of saves, and just brought me back into it. And I just squeezed out a win here. It was close, 7-6. We tied in our first week too.
Uh,
Like the first time we played together. So like, yeah, and we could. Yeah, this is a big win for me in the standings though, because
this
Nick's
could
right
be
on
a
my
first.
heels, and also then like he's fallen back a bit. Now he's in 7th place, where a win here would have been fifth, let's say fifth or sixth. So
Well, this is a potential first round matchup right here,
yeah, it could be.
right? Second versus seventh. So, um, yeah, like big, like this is good to see how you weigh against his team, right? In case you end up matching, even let's say if you take over first, and he drops to eighth, like you could still very likely match up with Neil. So
Yep. You never know what happens.
that's it. Like, won't you tell us
It'll be a good
about?
matchup. That's all I'll say. I won't be comfortable going into it.
Like, really, you shouldn't really be comfortable with any matchup in fantasy hockey. Like, shit can go bad at the worst time. Like,
Yeah.
um, why don't you tell us about the predictions here?
All right, let's get them up. Uh, what was I gonna say about them? Yeah, I think we all voted the same way, except
For every
for
match?
with every match except for me and Neil. And it was
Oh,
me and Travis went with myself, and you and Kyle went with Neil. But we all went wrong on you losing, Sean losing to Kyle, and Kyle losing to Dan. So all the upsets, really. So me and Travis went 5-3. You and Kyle went 4-4. So now there's a three-way tie in first
oh
with
shit.
81 wins. You, Kyle, and Travis. You and Travis 47 losses. Kyle 46. And then I'm only 1 win behind. I'm 80-48. So that's
That's
pretty
close.
damn close. Yeah. Holy shit. So it's going to be interesting to see this week.
See if someone can take a lead here. Like,
Yep.
I brought up the standings here just quick to look at since it's playoff chase, right? We should be talking about the standings. So we'll talk about the standings. We have myself. I'm still in first place, 2 points up on you, who's in second place. Interesting enough, we play each other this week, so
Yeah.
big matchup. Forgot about Dre, 23 points, so right one behind you. He's my next week opponent. Few points. He has a 3 point lead up on Derek, 20 points. So if he clinched the playoff spot, I imagine we're already in. So congrats. Madeirson at 20 points here in fourth place. This is where the things get tighter, right? Right behind him, 1 point. Travis sitting in fifth, 19 points. Then you got Captain Crunch here, 18 points in sixth place. We got Suck My Ojik, Jager Bombs, and Sean, all tied at 17 points. Three of them holding on to seventh, essentially, here with Sean getting the boot. But right behind there, you got Pacioretty at 16 points. In 10th. In 11th, you have Clefbaum, 15. So he's still only 2 points out of a playoff spot, even though he started selling. Like he could even like if things go right for him, he can sell some pieces and still make the playoffs, have a shot at the money, right? So then you start to see some separation here. It's not looking good for Mark. He's 4 points out right now. 12th place, 13 points. Dan, 13th, 11 points. And then so on here. We got Casey at 9 points here, 14th. Daltrey, 7 points and 15. But then you got Kyle, who's right on Daltrey's heels here. 4 points, 16th place. Kyle, if I were you, I'd be trying to play spoiler for the next few weeks and rack up some points.
And Daltrey is taking home the cock.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the big thing here now is the trade deadline is coming up, right? So it's going to be a few weeks with the trade deadline gone. So see Domo's plans here. Like you see Domo is in sixth place here.
Yeah, by 2 points.
Been making a push. That was a big 2 points for him. So we'll see. I still face him to end the season. We'll see how that goes.
I think with this schedule, like he's done. Like I don't think he makes it in. I think he plays you, he plays Nick, and I forget who else. Like he plays some big teams, and like you're not gonna have that advantage where you can just go pick up 5 guys on Sunday. Like
Yeah, we haven't even got to trades yet.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I think
Well,
the big thing here is certain matchups are going to be important to win now. It's like there could be some key matchups. You might win 3, but you might have lost to the wrong team and given them 2 points. Some tight matchups there. It'll be fun to see.
Yeah,
It's gonna come right down to the wire. Like there's a couple teams chasing. There's only going to be a couple upsets. I think if Kyle's already assuming he's gonna be on the out. So I think Mark not being able to make the playoffs would be the other big one, right? Because I think he's still kind of pushing. Not quite sure if he wants to sell yet. So we'll see. He's all talk.
He's got a week and a half to. Yeah, that's not what I heard. Mark is not all talk. He doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say it's ironic, but
he runs a big mouth there, but his team just has no steam here. They ran out of steam.
Yeah, he has such a big fucking mouth. He's too embarrassed to show it on camera.
We have an abundance of trades to go over tonight. It was a very busy week and a half. Yeah, so I guess let's get into it here. Let's start off with Captain Crunch here. Trading a 12th. This is where it starts. So here goes a 12th. And Cap over to Dan for Hagel at a 16th. What do you think of this?
I'll give Domo credit. I do think Hagel is probably worth 12. He's been doing fairly well recently. But why Kempe? He's doing very well, in my opinion. Obviously,
he didn't have enough games that week. That's what he does.
I don't get that part. The 12th, sure, but sure. There's not much to say. We're gonna have to fly through these. There's a bunch of them.
We're gonna talk about a lot of this. So
yeah, carry on.
Yeah. We got Mexico City Flow Riders trading Benoit and a 16th to Fox and the Huso for Teravainen and a 14th. What do you think here?
Yeah, nice upgrade for Casey. 2 rounds, not much to go off of.
Well, get some games, trying to compete a little bit. Oh, let's keep going. I agree. Like that was a nothing trade. I think Travis just wanted to get a little grit. So, Mexican Flow Ride is then hooking up with Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch sends over 2 13s and Seth Jones for Kuzmenko, a 15 and an 18. Why don't you tell me about this?
Is Kuzmenko doing anything? Like, is
Yeah,
he
he's
actually?
all right. Like,
Because I feel like this is like extremely outrageous.
yeah, you're giving up 2 13s.
I don't. What do you think of it, Shane? How about let's go with you first.
Well, I think this is the Sunday, right? This is his desperation trying to get some guys. Um, I think the price was a little higher than that, but he didn't have that, so he's like, "I'll just give you my two best picks." So far, he's moved the 12 and 2 13s to pick up. Well, I forget the other guy's name already.
Kuzmenko.
No, the other guy, Kuzmenko and
Oh, Hagel.
Hagel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Moving out Kemp though and Jones, like two guys who were fairly productive.
Yeah. Like no
Like,
kidding. Kuzmenko's having a solid year. 20 over 20 goals, 20 assists. But man, that's a big player and two
he
two
just
pick gaps. Your two best picks. Like I don't get it.
he just wanted again guys playing. I need the man games.
I
Like
know.
that's just his
I
stuff.
know. But these are some big pieces.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'd be
I won't be doing
embarrassed.
that this week. I'll tell you that.
I'd be embarrassed if I moved all my picks and I had nothing to show for it. Like,
He beat you.
well, yeah, because
20.
he had man games, right? He got those man games. But like going into the last day, it's supposed to be 2 versus 2, and all of a sudden he picks up 5 man games. Like, but you're giving up. You have your
and,
14th going to next year's draft. You have nothing to show for it. You have nothing on your
and he had a
roster.
guaranteed tie against the top guy. Like
He got the win. Good for him.
yeah,
But like you gave away everything like to get
yeah,
that
he
win.
did.
Casey puts it in the chat. I'll move Corey 6 for 2 7s. Here comes Dan. Hey,
Oh yeah.
here's a 6 and an 11th for 2 7s. Like, was that Dan's worst pick at the time?
What? 7?
The 11? The 11? No, he moved the 11.
No, no, no.
Like
Yeah,
Casey should have moved the
he
6 and like an 18 or something. Like,
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't have anything else to move besides an 11th. Like that was his worth. Or no, no, no. He had two sevens. Yeah, yeah. He wanted an 11th out of it because he had nothing to trade down from. I think his worst pick at the time was like a ninth or an eighth. So I don't think he should have did this one, but
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I probably would, yeah. Whatever. It's whatever. Casey got two better picks. Like your
yeah.
6 is gonna be worth nothing.
Yeah, it's not a Bedard pick, so
No,
I mean it
exactly.
loses little value there.
Buchnevich and an 11th going to Dan here for line 8 and a 12th. I would just like to point out before I ask your opinion here, Buchnevich is what Neil traded his 6th for. So do tell me what you think of this.
Not this season though, right?
Yeah, this season.
No.
Yeah.
So he
I went into the trade
wow.
history because I was curious how Kyle got Neil's 6, and that's how it was for Butch. Good on you, Kyle.
Yeah, I agree. Like his output was not great. Um, but I think he got a good pick back though. It wasn't a big pick difference, I don't think, right?
I don't remember, to be
Yeah,
exact.
Line A is doing fairly well. I'm not a big Line A fan though. But there's not really
He's
much of a pick difference. It's more of a player swap, and you get someone who's healthy and not injured.
I think that was the injury, but like
Mm. He
Stat
was
Guy
trying to beat
Neil
me.
will come back and tell us what the other pick was. We know it.
Yeah, Neil, he was scared. He wanted the extra games on me. Wasn't enough, buddy.
It wasn't. Especially like line A. Huh. The trades continue for Domo. Domo acquiring Chikrin and Lilligren For Palat and Copley. No picks involved, so that's how he was able to do this. Just trade away a starting goalie. Um, what do you think of this trade?
Yeah, I know Dan valued Chitrin pretty high, um, and I don't disagree. But I think it's the Copley coming back was probably the big difference there. And I know he's a fan of Palat, um, and Liljegren's just a whatever waiver
Throw
wire
in.
pretty much. Yeah,
But he
that's the
was
big
playing
difference.
too that
Yeah,
day, so that's two players that were playing.
true. Yeah, so I understand Dan's side to this. Domo Varlamov, I think, is his best goalie right now, goalie option for games played because Copley's out. But Copley's playing for now. He seems to have the role. I don't get the angle. I get his games played. I think it makes his team worse in the long run because I think he actually has some solid D men already. Chitrin is not going to be the difference for you.
So that's my issue with his whole strategy is it doesn't make his team better, and like to me that's what you should be trading for.
Yep.
The occasional like late pick to try and squeeze out a win, but it shouldn't be you're trading every pick every week just to try and compete. Like, where's your foundation? Brady Kachuk.
Yep. Yeah, and if Copley steals the show and is there for a bit, clearly I don't think Peterson's the answer, right?
He's not. Peterson's in the AHL.
Exactly.
He's a
So
free. No, he's the only one under contract next year.
yeah,
Copley
because I
and
think
Quick are
he
both
just got
free
a 3 year
agents.
deal this year, I think, with LA.
They're burying him.
Yeah. Oh well.
Ah, Team Ramrod and Sauce Pass have been up for a deal here. Cotter in the 13th, going my way for Shea in the 15th. Why don't you tell me about this?
Yeah, I wanted some games played, and I also think he has some pretty good stats. I got you to pick him up for me. Uh, you wanted I wanted a 1 round difference, but I think it's fair. Daltrey's pick's gonna be a good pick coming back the other way.
I agree. Was that my 13th coming back?
Yeah, I did. I did. The one I sent to you was you giving it back to you.
Get my own pick back. So I think that's what I said to you. I like my 13th back.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch still not done. Connor Sheary and an 18th going his way for Mikey Anderson and a 14th. Again, another LA. That's the third LA guy he traded because they were done playing for the week. What do you think of this?
Anderson actually is a gritty guy, eh?
Yeah.
He surprised me the other day when I think somebody had him. I was playing against him. That's when I realized how well he was doing. And a 14th, which might be his best pick
It
currently in
was
your
at the
league.
time.
Yeah. And Sherry, who's not doing the worst, but he's not great either. He's not a great fantasy option, anyways. But good on you. You got the extra point.
There's still more of his, and we're
Oh,
gonna
I
talk
know.
about him again. Matt Martin and a 16th going to Nick for Forbort and 17th going to Captain Crunch here. What do you think of that one?
Yeah. Keep it going. We just got to talk about his trades. It's how much Matt Martin is gritty. He's having a good run of grit. Um, so obviously, I know he was just picked up on the waiver wire, but he's just going for the games played.
I want to tell you again. So far, we've seen him trade a 12, two 13s, and a 14, and a 16, but that's not a big deal. Next
Still,
trade here, he's back at it. He gets Jan Kroc, Teravainen, and two 17s for Ridley Gregg, who was a center, by the way, Dylan Dubé, a 13th and a 14th. So he just moved a third 13th and a second 14th, along with a 12 so far. What do you think of this one?
oh, he did get another center though.
Yeah, that was his one
Uh,
center he had. That was the one center he had.
and now the other one's in the minors.
Yeah.
I was gonna look up and see if he still had Dubé, because I could see him dropping him.
He probably did.
Yeah, he doesn't have him anymore. but he got 17 penalty minutes for me today in my other league. So I was gonna say he's a good option, but he of course he doesn't keep him.
So he makes another deal right away here. He's more man games. Captain Crunch trades picks up Chatfield in a 17th for Colasar in a 14th. That's a third 14th he moved in the 2 day span here. Along with three 13s and a 12. Again, do I even ask you? This is just a kind of throwaway.
Yeah, keep it going.
Then you have his final trade of the week, where he traded Forbort, who he just picked up for Stahl, to make his lineup legal because he was running one center. Like
And all of these trades, none of them did anything for him in the week.
nothing.
This one
Except
here
for
was
that
the
one.
difference maker.
It's just
Yep.
the man games, right?
Yep.
Like that's his game, but again, I'm not gonna try and dissect his logic because you're not gonna be able to do that when you get to the playoffs and after the deadline, you have no foundation. And you go into
Yep.
the draft with nothing. Like,
And then he
like
trades
that.
the center away here.
I've seen some pretty poorly run franchises in my day, but man, like I just don't know what to think of this. Like, whew.
We'll see what happens next year out of it, right? That'll be the telling tale.
If he's happy with this, good. I'm happy for you. But man, like I would go back to the drawing board with that strategy.
He'll be hungry for moving those picks early next season.
So right away on Monday, he's got to get back his Ottawa Senators center. So he trades back for the guy he just had, pays a 13th with him to get him, leaving him with his best pick being now. I think he has a 14 left. But Chatfield in a 13th for Greg in a 15th. Like
His best pick's a 14th now.
Yeah, he has one left, right?
Yep. 114th,
Yeah.
215th, 216th, 417th, 418th.
That's where we ended that week's trade pretty much. So this is the perfect time to stop and get ready for part two.
See ya.